It's time to get inside the Giants Huddle.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
On Giants.com.
I like it.
And the Giants mobile app.
Boom, give me some juice.
Part of the Giants Podcast Network.
Let's roll.
Welcome to the Giants Huddle podcast, brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the New York Giants. For Giants Huddle Rapid Reaction, Monday Night Football. The Giants get the win over the Green Bay Packers. 24-22 is the final score. My name is Madelyn Burke, joined by Howard Cross. Howard, when you look at the way that this game came down to it, of course, the Giants had the ball, running downfield. Saquon Barkley fumbles. Packers get a chance, get in the end zone, score a touchdown, go up 22-21. Tommy DeVito puts the ball in his hands, drives this team down the field, and Randy Bullock kicks a game-winning field goal to give this team the win in prime time.
You know what? The Giants are no longer solar powered. They've actually won a game at night, primetime game, which is really, really cool for them. I think it was a great job doing, Tommy DeVito taking control of the game, giving his team a little pep talk before they go out on the field, and then they execute. The thing I like, that the guys are actually making plays when the ball comes to them, and they're making some plays above their numbers, as you saw when you see the little receiver out there jumping over a guy to catch the ball. That's the kind of stuff you want to see in games. And that's how you win games.
That's how you win games, indeed. And the fact that Tommy DeVito, minute and a half left on the clock, is able to drive this team down the field, put them in a position to win. The poise and the confidence that you see from the young guy, third straight win. A lot of conversation in this week, too, going up against the Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur's Packers, who hadn't lost a game in the month of December under Matt LaFleur, 16-0 in the month of December, coming off a 3-game winning streak, beating the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs last week, winning 4 of the last 5. This isn't some, opponent to scoff at. This was a tough team to face, and the confidence and the poise of not just DeVito, but this entire Giants team.
Yeah, I agree with that. The team did a great job. I think that both streaks were broken. The Giants losing streak in Monday night games, and the Packers win streak in December. But I think the thing that could be said about this is that the Packers probably took the Giants for granted. I think that they came in here thinking, hey, look, these guys don't win at night. They have a guy coming off the couch playing at guard. We got a quarterback off the practice squad. This out here, what are they going to do? They score 9 points a game, 10 points a game on average. We score more than that, getting off the bus. So they kind of came out with the idea that they're going to give them. The Giants have been giving up, 5, 6, 7 sacks a game. So, and I think DeVito's been sacked almost 20 times. So it's been like a nightmare out there. And they were probably coming in thinking like, we don't have to get as, polished or as up as we need to, because they're not a good team. They're not going to be able to handle us. And they got punched in the mouth early, and it kind of freaked them out.
Well, and as much as we talk about how much DeVito has been sacked in previous games, he was not sacked once tonight. Not once by the Green Bay Packers. And again, ball security, point of emphasis, didn't turn the ball over, had one passing touchdown, got some 71 yards rushing as well, and an 81% completion. So a really solid game once again from Tommy DeVito and the Giants offensive line that really protected their quarterback. But not just the offense. The offense was firing tonight, but so was the defense. And the defense, that takeaway battle is one that we have been talking about. The Giants have had 2 or more takeaways on defense in each of the last 4 games, and winning the turnover battle has been a recipe for success for this team, something they did again tonight. Yeah,
they did a good job. I think Dexter Lawrence up the middle a couple times really put pressure on their quarterback. I saw Kevin Thibodeau go in and get another sack. I think that's 12 for him on the season. Then you have guys like, they're so quick to the receivers when the ball's in the air that it becomes this thing where, if they get it, there's not a lot of, yak yards in games anymore. These guys are getting to them so quickly. They had a couple missed tackles, but most of the time they were knocking guys down right when they get it. The turnovers come from just relentless getting to the ball. Like I've said that they needed to swarm to the ball. You got Love running the ball. You got 3 guys hitting him. 1 guy's holding him up and spinning him around, and 1 guy pulls the ball out. That's what you have to do if you want to create a fumble. The interceptions, there could have been 2 or 3 more. Mm-hmm. I mean, it'd been hats off to guys like Dante Banks. He is playing some phenomenal football out there, covering some of the best receivers in the league, and being, holding up as a rookie, looking like he, earned the right, or it was the right pick at that number 1 pick for the Giants.
You're ready for a change. Payday comes early with Citizens, so go to that retreat. New you moves to the country. Now you're raising goats and launching a lifestyle brand. Are you ready for all that life brings?
Yeah, I mean, he had an incredible pass breakup in the end zone in man coverage that could have been an interception right there.
He could have intercepted, but the thing that I liked about the play is that the receiver initially beat him off the ball. He's in the trail position the entire time. He doesn't panic. He doesn't run into the guy. He just keeps his eyes on him, makes up ground. If he knows he's got the end zone, he can't go any further, puts his hand up at the last second and knocks the ball away.
Absolutely. Great play from the young corner as we continue to see the Giants defense really being a key to success for this team. But, oftentimes, in recent wins, we've seen this is a third win in a row for the Giants as they move to a game out of the wild card spot, which is just a testament to how wild this NFC is this season. But, stacking these wins and doing so on the heels of the defense, this was a really balanced game. The offense played quite well, and when put in position, not every time, but oftentimes. And one player who I thought really stood out tonight was Wan'Dale Robinson. He had a couple of highlight plays. He had one play on the sideline where Matt LaFleur was standing right next to him and threw the challenge flag because he thought there's no way that this man was inbounds. Literally standing, 2 yards away from him, and the officials looked at it and they said absolutely he was 2 feet down and had the ball in full possession. He had a great play on the that game-winning drive to get down to the field goal, and then they even hit him on a flea flicker. The fact that we see the Giants offense pulling a flea flicker tonight as well. But Wan'Dale Robinson really showing up in tonight's game. What did you see from him?
I thought he said he played a little bit above the numbers. I think the play when the coach LaFleur throws a challenge flag is from Wan'Dale's reaction. He jumps up so quick, get to the line, and the offense was scrambling to get lined up, and he thought, oh my God, he didn't catch the ball. He was trying to get the offense to keep going. They were trying to get down the field for the score, and the coach looked at it as maybe he missed the ball, and it totally was a reception, so that was great. The catch getting down the field late on the sideline, he was like in a lot of open spaces. The problem is that for most of his routes, he's a short kind of 4 or 5 yard route runner for a guy. So if he runs any deeper than that, you kind of lose sight of him and forget where he is because they're like, okay, just make sure you keep your eye on this guy because if he catches the ball short, if he shakes you, he could put some distance out there. And he used to be a running back in college. They don't want that. They don't want anybody to get. They don't want teams. They don't want him to catch the ball and get yards after the catch. So a couple of times in the game, they lost him. They were looking for him underneath, and all of a sudden he's standing behind them, and then he's still moving. And that when you lose sight of guys, especially a guy like that, it starts to hurt you. And the big play on the flea flicker, he actually had to jump over the defender to catch the ball. So I thought that was a big play for him in the game, and those kind of plays make the other guys fired up as well.
You love turf. You're good at it. So you start a turf biz. Business grows, your savings grow. Become the most celebrated name in turf. Are you ready for all that life brings?
Absolutely. And momentum also comes into factor as well. I think when you talk about that play in which LaFleur threw the flag, Wan'Dale was like, let's get it up, let's keep it moving, because the previous play, head coach Brian Daboll threw the challenge flag because Kayvon Thibodeau had punched the ball out of Jordan Love's hands. They called initially Jordan Love down, but he had been tackled on top of Jason Pinnock, so didn't actually hit the ground. The ball was out. Giants were awarded the ball, and then the very next play, Wan'Dale has that incredible catch. So I think that they were kind of saying, too, like, let's keep this momentum going and that positive energy going. And as they try to keep that positive energy going, they got another game next week against the New Orleans Saints. Traveling down to New Orleans, that's a tough place to play. And it seems like every week the challenge gets tougher for this team. You're on Monday Night Football against the Packers, then you're in New Orleans, the big easy, not so easy for visiting teams. When you look at that game at this point right now, what are your initial assessments? I mean, coming off a win, coming off 3 straight wins, it's got to be a good place to be.
Coming off 3 straight wins, a great place to be. I think New Orleans is trying to find a way to see if they could win their division. Their division is always is in turmoil, seems like, with the Panthers and everybody playing so poorly, and they just kind of beat each other up all the time. So if they could find a way to win, string together a few games, they could have a chance to win their division. So we're not going down to a team that's giving up on their season or going down to see a team that's kind of out of everything. They still think they have a chance, so they're going to be giving the Giants their best shot, and I know the Giants will give their best shot as well. So it's going to be interesting to see. We'll see if Carr is going to be healthy and how healthy he is. He's been getting banged up a lot. Can the Giants get to him and knock him around a little bit? I'm not promoting getting him hurt, but just like knock him around a little bit, get him off his spot. His top receiver is a kid that's been like, Ohio State, another great Ohio State receiver that's Jigba just running all, lights out everywhere. People can't get their hands on him. He's running great routes. He's blowing by people. It's hard to cover guys like that. But if he's the only one, that's when you can kind of zero in on him. You can take him out of the game.
And then you've got one Jimmy Graham having a resurgence as well. He's had a touchdown in each of the last 2 games. It's like, what year is it? 2007?
Man, Jimmy Graham is still hanging in there, man. I'm happy that he's still healthy. I'm happy that he's still, got a little burn left. But, I don't think that his burn's going to work too much this week.
We shall see. The next game, of course, the Giants headed down to New Orleans to take on the New Orleans Saints. But you know what? They're coming off this win. They're going to have a moment to celebrate that one. Monday Night Football, prime time. Like Howard Cross says, Giants are no longer solar powered. And getting the win under the bright lights over the visiting Green Bay Packers. 24-22 is the final score. And that's a wrap for your Giants. Rapid reaction, because you know what? Giants fans love a winner. It's why they love Citizens, named a 2022 Best Bank in the U.S. by The Banker as the official bank of the Giants and sponsor of the Huddle. Citizens is made ready for fans of Big Blue. Learn more at citizensbank.com.